Joel Topf with Nephrology Times here. I'm with Dr. Reddy from Unicycive. Unicycive has, you're the Vice President of Clinical Development?
That's correct, yeah.
And you have 3 posters here today.
That's right.
And the first one I want to talk about is on Oxylanthanum Carbonate.
Yeah.
And so this is a another novel phos binder?
Phosphate binder, yes.
And it's going to be, you expect it to work like lanthanum carbonate, is that right?
That's correct.
But not chewable.
It's a swallow tablet.
You actually just swallow it whole,
Swallow it,
which is great because I mean a lot of my patients don't even have teeth, right? And so it's just it becomes a challenge to get that pill down.
Yeah.
And it was an interesting study design because I know it's not in humans. This is on rats.
No,
right?
actually, this is a phase. It's a human study, clinical study. We
My
had
mistake.
86 patients in the trial.
And is this the one with tenapanor? Or am I reading? Was I reading the wrong?
Tenapanor was another study. So we have
that's what I'm confused with. I'm sorry.
Today we are presenting a poster we just presented.
Tell me more.
Oxylanthanum Carbonate. There's safety and not efficacy, but safety of the drug, safety and tolerability in CKD patients undergoing dialysis.
Yep.
So we enrolled 86 patients in the trial.
Gotcha.
Right, and then so the goal was to see if the drug is safe and tolerable. But in an FDA asked a specific question that shows the tolerability of this drug at a dose that's required to maintain the serum phosphate levels.
Yeah.
Right. Efficacious drug, efficacious dose. So because of that, we had to measure serum phosphate levels.
Yep.
So what we found is that at baseline, we had about 60% of the patients, they had control, serum phosphate control.
Yep.
And 40% who did not have control. This reflects the real life situation. And then they went through a washout and switched to OLC tablets. What we found is that 91% of these patients who switched to OLC controlled phosphate within a few weeks' time. And they all achieved 5.5 or below.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
Okay, excellent. So it works like lanthanum carbonate, but you can swallow it, you don't have to chew it. The pills are smaller.
Very small, yeah.
And they're very small.
Yeah.
Excellent. Very good.
Yeah.
So the other product is
UNI-494.
UNI-494. And this is interesting. Now this works on the mitochondria.
That's correct.
On a potassium channel.
It's a potassium channel opener.
It keeps the potassium channel open.
Correct, yeah.
And this is important in reperfusion injury?
That's right. So what happens is once the potassium channel is open, that leads to the MPT pore closing. So as you know, MPT pore opening is one of the things. So it can lead to accumulation of water and other solutes in the mitochondria that eventually leads to swelling and injury and death, right? So what happens is that what you want to do is that close that MPT pore.
That's how you protect against this
exactly
injury.
cardioprotection. This is the ischemic preconditioning effect, which happens in the nature all the time, right? So what we are doing is mimic that thing through a pharmacological agent. So that's what.
And this is a small molecule.
It is small molecule right now. It's a pill which you can take.
And it's a pill.
Yeah.
And so you had a couple of abstracts. One was a rat study.
That's right. Yeah.
And that was a single, nephrectomy, and then a reperfusion injury, and you give the drug at 1 hour and 4 hours.
That's right. Yeah.
And a bunch of different markers of kidney injury. They all seem to be better.
Yeah. We looked at both the kidney function markers and kidney injury markers.
And
we found improvements, statistically significant improvements in both things.
In both.
And tissue injury as well in the by pathology. Yeah.
And from my eyes, there didn't seem to be much difference giving this drug 1 hour or 4 hours after the injury.
Yes. So we did the study in multiple ways, and what we are presenting here is what we call as a treatment mode.
Okay.
So we gave the drug before ischemia, about 30 minutes before. So in a preventive mode, it works in that setting as well.
Gotcha.
But in this case, we gave it 1 hour and 4 hours afterwards, and it still works in the situation.
Okay.
So all you need is one dose, and it's dramatically reducing the creatinine levels and blood levels.
And then the other study was I presume it's a first in humans. You were giving it to well people just to look for target levels in the blood?
So we just completed the phase 1 study. What we are presenting here is this single ascending dose data.
Yep.
We completed the study right now. So at single ascending dose, we looked from starting dose was 10 milligrams.
Yep.
It went from 10 milligrams all the way to 160.
Yep.
And what we're looking at is the serum levels of the metabolite of this drug. So this drug is a prodrug of nicorandil. So nicorandil is a drug that's approved in Europe and Asia for the treatment of angina pectoris.
Okay.
Right? It's not approved in the United States.
Okay.
So our goal is to get enough levels of nicorandil in serum that we know that although the drug is approved for angina pectoris,
Yeah.
there are a number of clinical trials that show that nicorandil is effective in both AKI and CKD. Right? So what we are doing is by giving UNI-494, you get enough levels of nicorandil in the thing that's going to do its
So
magic.
that's how you figured what your target level
Correct,
needs
yeah.
to be.
So we are kind of de-risking our program by that. So we got enough levels right now at
Uh-huh.
160 milligrams.
Uh-huh.
So now we are going to go to the next.
And that was well tolerated by the people.
Correct.
No side effects.
Well, that's nausea and vomiting side effects are there, but
Yeah, okay.
I don't expect that. Let's say in patients who are going transplant, ultimately this drug is going to be useful.
Yeah, I get that. So there's a tease at the end of the abstract that says this could be useful in acute kidney injury or delayed graft function.
Yeah. Mhm.
And delayed graft function clicked to me as a particularly interesting target because you know when the ischemia is going to happen.
Correct, yeah. Mhm.
It's a very predictable.
Yeah.
And so is that where you go? Is that going to be your
right.
first
That's
your first
our
attempt
first
there?
indication. In fact, we have orphan drug designation for this drug from the FDA for delayed graft, DGF, right?
Gotcha.
So our goal now is we just finished our phase 1 study in healthy volunteers.
Yeah.
Maybe do another study in actual patients who are
Yep.
going through
The target
transplant,
population. Sure.
Look at the safety and look at the PK, and then
Yep.
also getting some data and just like what we did in the animal studies, look at some kidney injury markers and kidney function markers and see how well the drugs work.
And that's the next step. That's
that's right,
super exciting.
Yeah.
Hey, delightful talking with you. Thanks for
Thanks so
joining
much.
us with
Appreciate it.
Nephrology
Yeah,
Times.
thanks.
Dr. Reddy from Unicycive.